1, and go TJ.
Welcome to the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. My name is TJ Chillot, and we've got a great show for you here tonight, including members of the women's soccer team, women's volleyball, and women's lacrosse. Up first, women's soccer. I'm joined by head coach Shannon Neely-Noel, as well as a couple of players from the team, Hannah Dyke-Lawler and Tamia King. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. And Coach, another season in the books, another ASUN Conference Championship bid. What were your thoughts on the season on the whole?
It was marked by growth and a lot of new faces that got wonderful experience and helped us earn another postseason appearance. So overall, we're happy of what we've done, but are really eager to continue to progress and get more.
Well, and you talk about those new faces. I know that was kind of a talking point for you, was about just all the incoming players, whether it be freshmen or transfers or anything like that. How big of a key was that to your success this year?
I think it was incredible. You looked at any game that we had, and across the starting lineup, we had anywhere from 4 to 6 freshmen starting, and you put that on the field with the experience of people like Shayla Podzic and Savannah Stewart. It just means everything, because you get the best of both worlds. You get that leadership, that group that's been there before, and then you get the ignition of somebody new, the excitement, a lot of growth, a lot of learning that comes along with those new faces, but a lot of excitement and quality performance as well.
And you have a couple of freshmen just off to your left here as well. And ladies, when you think about your first year and being in Division I soccer, I mean, this is a question for both of you, and we'll start with you, Hannah. What was some of the challenges, and what was that adjustment like for you?
I definitely think it's a big jump and a big change for me. Just the jump to college soccer, and also just coming from a different country. There's also the differences with that. But it's been such a great experience, and I've learned so much over the season. Was
it harder to adjust to the American lifestyle or the soccer being D1? What was the harder adjustment for you?
I think probably the American, because even though it's the same sport, it's just played differently. It's a different game. So that was definitely a big adjustment.
And how about you, Tamia?
The jump, I would say, was new, but I liked it. I loved the change, and I was just happy to be on the team. It was a really good experience.
You were the team leader in points, 3 goals, 3 assists, 9 total points on the year. I've got a little bit of a tricky question for you. What did you enjoy more, scoring the goals or setting up your teammates so they could put it in?
Both, but I want to say setting my teammates up, because I like when they are happy about scoring.
And Hannah, I don't know if you know this, but in your first season, you finished 5th in school history in most saves in a season. So what goes through your mind when you hear something like that, when you look back at your first year here at Queens?
Well, first year I didn't know that, so it's a nice surprise. It just makes me feel quite proud that I've been able to come in just in my first year and make hopefully somewhat of a positive impact.
And Coach, this is something that I know it gets brought up on broadcasts all the time. They talk constantly about your playing career, but often leave out your coaching career and some of your major accomplishments there. When you think back to your coaching career and things like that, how's that journey set you up to come in here and head coach this Queens team?
Well, it's the same thing I say to these young ladies. Everything you go through can help you learn and improve upon yourself. So every stop I've been at, where I was as a player, as a goalkeeper, and working with Hannah and helping Darian, who manages their training, is significant than working under other head coaches and learning from them how they run their program, taking notes on, maybe I'd do it this way, or maybe I'd do it a little different once it's my turn. And then just leveraging some of that success. I'm really proud of some of the things that I've accomplished at those other stops, and that has continued here. Those that are inside the program and see what we're doing know what's happening here, and you might not see it in that wins column yet. The ties maybe a little bit more so. We seem to be really good at getting those ties on the record, but it's right on the edge of tipping, and the culture is there. The play is just taking leaps and bounds steps right now, so it's really fun to be a part of that and just continue to be proud of the things that I'm accomplishing.
And for either one of you, knowing that you have a coach that not only has won as a player, but also has won as a coach, how much does that reassure you on the decision you made to come to Queens and to play under her?
Definitely reassured me a lot. And it's just, everyone obviously likes to win, and I love to win. So it just reassures me that everything's going in the right direction, and we get better and better every day. And then soon, I'm sure next year we'll go even further.
Yeah.
I do have a question for all three of you. The team's social media skyrocketed this year. The numbers, the views, the followers, just through the roof. So and it might take a second, so one of you is going to be under the gun real quick, but can you think of a favorite post that you had? And I want one from each of you. So who's got one for me to jump right out? Tamia looks like she's ready. What do you got?
I'm going to say that Adam Sandler. I think
good.
that was a good pull.
Yeah? How many times did you send that to friends and family and be like, hey, check this out?
Actually, I had it sent to me a lot with my friends and family, and they were like, oh.
Anybody else? Hannah, what have you got?
I really liked the coaches one when they're on the chair and spinning
spin.
around, and that went like really viral as well.
Yeah.
And you, Coach?
Oh, I enjoyed the bug one. When you guys had to react to the bugs, that was funny.
Yes,
you know, really anything. Our social media director or marketing director who manages that, Dom, is just excellent. And he does such a good job of highlighting these young women. It's why they're with me here today, because it's all about them. So those bits that show their personality, I think there's a reason that people respond to it, because they're pretty incredible. So it's fun to watch them. And
final question, this will be for all of you guys. Obviously, with the season over now, on to the off season. Do you guys have any big plans, Coach?
Gosh, I have 2 kids. So what am I doing 20 minutes from now?
Okay.
No, just continue to plan and I drive my staff and these young women crazy, because as soon as one's done, it's what's next? How do we get better? What can we learn? How do we go on to the next, have an incredible spring, hit that transfer portal hard so that next fall is even better than this fall, like Hannah said.
Hannah?
Go back home, spend some good time with friends and family, and just keep training and working hard, and hopefully come in really well in the spring.
Tamia?
Get this boot off.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep training, keep working hard. You know, I'm ready for more goals next season and assists.
Yeah, here for that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. We really got some good insight from y'all, and have a great off season. We'll see you back here for the regular season on the other side.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you to the women's soccer team for joining us. We got plenty more coming up on the Queen's Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. Stay tuned. We've got women's volleyball, women's lacrosse, and more.
So in 2019, I was in class and I was doing a jump that I've been doing since I was maybe 6 years old. And my foot went one knee, my knee went the other, and my knee dislocated. It amazes me how I went through what I went through and I was still able to continue my dreams.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville, to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasting in over 20 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience, from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth, including 8 members located in the top 6. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Here, strength comes from within. Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
It's all good. I hide from the sun anyway, so.
Fair enough.
I don't want wrinkles.
Welcome back to the Queens Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. I'm TJ Chillot. We just had the women's soccer team on. We've got plenty more coming up, including women's volleyball, and we're going to speak with Jim Piscatelli from the broadcasting department. But up next, from women's lacrosse, head coach Kelly McQuilkin. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to come up and chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
Another season. What were your overall thoughts on this year?
We're excited. We're hungry. The girls have been working so hard this fall, and the amount that this team has grown, we faced some, I would say, like safe adversity. Run tests. We did some things called the gauntlet. I'm sure our girls can laugh about that one now that it's over. Just a lot of really good, hard practices, lots of learning. So the team's in a really great spot. I think we're ready for a break, ready for Thanksgiving and winter break, but ready to hit the ground running in January.
I'd love to hear more about the gauntlet.
So some of those things I block out of my mind, and the girls will bring it back up later, and they're like, remember that day? I'm like, no, I don't. It was just another. So lunge walks, bear crawls, I'm sure it had to do with some of those. Yeah.
Had a lot of new faces on the team.
Yep.
10 plus new faces, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
How did they take to the gauntlet, and how are they taking to everything in general?
You know, it's a really special freshman class. I think they all watched our season last year. They could feel kind of just how close we were, and really they've come in, they've embraced it, they've put their head down and worked. They really are high achievers themselves, but they also are just responding really well to our leadership. So 9 freshmen, 1 transfer. They're the perfect fit culture-wise, athlete-wise, so they're doing a great job.
We can't talk about Queens women's lacrosse
Yep.
without talking about Kayleen Favreau.
Yes.
What does it mean to you as a coach to have someone of that caliber on your squad?
I just love her. So we started together. So I took over at Queens when she was a freshman. So proud mama bear moment. Honestly, this whole fall watching our senior class, been able to watch them grow from 18-year-olds to 22-year-olds. But Kayleen is as humble as they get. She is hardworking. She's fearless. She's driven, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to get the team to the playoffs and competing for that ASUN championship. So I can't speak enough good words about her, but I think the coolest thing about Kayleen is it's about the team. It's not about her awards.
And she is the reigning ASUN Offensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
So how do you push her, and how do you coach someone like that in this next year?
Yeah, so she's a lefty, that's no secret. So opening up her game a little bit more to her right hand. She loves film, she loves to be creative. Honestly, we've watched a lot of other teams' offenses, looking at national champions, UNC. I mean, their attack is so fun. So honestly, just talking through, giving her different things to try. It's the sky's the limit with her, so it's been fun to watch.
Just missed out on the ASUN tournament last year.
Yep.
In a very tough division. Only going to get harder this year with the addition of 2 more teams.
Yeah.
So what's the goal then moving forward? How do you get back in?
Yeah, so I mean, making playoffs is first and foremost. Obviously, we have 2 teams that added. Delaware is my old conference rival, so it's interesting to see the Blue Hens back in the mix. But one thing I love about our conference is you got to show up on game day, and that's something that we've really pushed this fall is how do we react under pressure? How do we make the best decisions possible, and how do we unify during games that are going to be tight? It might not always be pretty, but a win is a win. So just as far as getting them ready, it's kudos to them. Our girls have just stepped up, and they've done a good job problem solving in practice. And I think the problem solving piece is really where us as a staff have pushed on them a little bit more.
I'm glad that you brought up the staff, because you do have some help with you, and some new help with you this year. Explain that and what that new dynamic is going to be like.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eris is returning as our graduate assistant. She is a bundle full of energy. Love that girl. She just brings so much to the team, and just a young perspective with her being a recent graduate. And then it's been great to welcome Sharn back to the Royals family. So I coached Sharn our first year in Division I, her 6th year, so we called her Great Grandma. Just kind of taped her body together to get her through her senior season. And then she flew the nest. She went down to USF and helped start a top Division I program, and just the amount of knowledge that she's bringing back, I think the passion that you have as an alum to come back and want your program to succeed, it's been awesome, and the girls have responded great.
Back then, did you kind of know as you were coaching her that she had that coach gene, and that one day in the future it would come around?
We would leave a film session, and she would come in my office and want to do more. Or hey, I scouted their attackers even more, and I'm like, okay, all right, you're good. We'll probably be doing this together one day.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
On to some lighter questions.
Yeah,
It obviously was a very busy off season for you in recruiting.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to go recruit? Anything good?
So I'm a little spoiled when it comes to recruiting. So I'm from Maryland and my parents live up there. So I like to say I summer in Annapolis so I can avoid 95 as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So favorite places to recruit. I mean, spent a lot of the summer in Maryland, Jersey. I'm heading to Florida tomorrow. I would say that's more of a favorite. We're leaving a little cold to go down to 80-degree sun. So I'd say Florida's probably my favorite.
If I took the East Coast off the table, where would you go?
Well, we have a few players from Western Canada, so I might get up there, or Montana, Colorado. We're pretty diverse from a region standpoint on our roster.
Do some big recruiting in the Big Sky territory.
Yeah, so
not bad.
One day.
So one thing that I think a lot of people know, and if you don't, you're going to find out real quick, the swag for the women's lacrosse team, year in and year out, is some of the best that you're going to see in college athletics. Do you guys have anything big planned this year? Can you spoil anything for us?
That's a good question. You have to come and show up and find out.
Okay. It's a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I'll allow it.
I will say my favorite logo is the one with the skyline.
Yes, fantastic.
So a lot of our new gear has that on it.
When you have a gorgeous skyline like this, you pretty much have to include it in everything as much as you can.
Yeah.
And one final question, Thanksgiving, just a little over a week away.
Yeah.
What are you most thankful for this year?
Family. Yeah, family, and it's our year I have two older brothers, so it's our year to get them for Thanksgiving and the kiddos and all that. So I love being an aunt. I love to rile them up, make them wrestle a little bit, and then give them back to my brothers.
The best part.
Yeah,
It's like pulling the pin on the grenade and then just saying see you later.
Yeah, so family, just really looking forward to, I think after a push fall, a great fall, it's just going to be time to slow down and just hang out with my brothers and my parents a little bit more.
Fantastic. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been great.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Head coach Kelly McQuilkin, women's lacrosse. We've got plenty more on the Queen's Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina coming up after this, including head coach Matt Stoles of the women's volleyball team and Jim Piscatelli from the broadcasting department. Don't go anywhere.
When can I get back to doing what I want to do?
So in 2019, I was in class and I was doing a jump that I've been doing since I was maybe 6 years old. And my foot went one knee, my knee went the other, and my knee dislocated. It amazes me how I went through what I went through and I was still able to continue my dreams.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasting in over 20 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth, including 8 members located in the top 6. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Here, strength comes from within. Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
About a question. So, at the beginning of the year, I wasn't quite sure exactly where we were going to be at with a lot of new faces as freshmen, people that had transferred in, and people that had different roles than they did last year. So to say I had expectations might be a bit of a stretch. I think that might be also part of the reason why we did so well, is the idea that it was a fresh start for every single person in this program, and we could write our own journey the whole time. And so throughout the season, we've been tested with a lot of trials and tribulations, some injuries, some sickness, just like anyone in the country would have. But what's been really great about this journey is no one's ever been afraid to be tested. No one's ever been afraid to, give their all, and no one was ever afraid to fail. And I think that led to a lot of team successes. The idea that we could go out there and play freely, play together as a team. And what it's been really great is the idea that no one is bigger than the team, and everyone helped us have such a season. So we're very balanced in more ways than just on the volleyball court. So it's been a journey, but it's been a lot of fun, and we've been very excited to be in the position we are today. We had some unwritten goals in ways. I think goals are important. Setting standards is important. However, if we just said, hey, let's make the tournament, I think that doesn't do enough service to us. We talked about how we are going to win a championship, and it might look different week to week on how we're going to improve. But, one of our goals was not just to get into the conference tournament, like last year's the 8th seed, but to try and get a higher seed, the best thing we can. It's funny, I looked at some text messages at the beginning of the season, and I definitely told a lot of people that I think we can easily be top 6, which is top half of the conference, and we finished exactly that. So it's been great. We've been able to accomplish a lot of our goals, and not just making the tournament, but it's how do we now win a championship, not only for the conference tournament, but going forward. I think it helps massively. The culture of Queens volleyball was there before I got there. Even in my interview process, I could tell that the team was very connected with one another. I think they were looking for a coach and leadership to help them direct it in the right avenue. They had the ideas, and they had the goals, and they had the people. They just didn't have the idea of how to get to what they really wanted to do. And so that was one of the first things that I knew I was going to have to accomplish, is setting clear and concise expectations in how we were going to operate and how we were going to be successful. So culture has been a huge thing. And in our program, we again talk about no one's bigger than the actual program. No one person, including the head coach, gets their name with a win total. It's all Queens volleyball. And so we all have roles on this team. And one of the big mantras that we have in this program is everyone matters. Everyone has a goal, and everyone has a job that they need to execute. And your role might change throughout the match, or might change throughout the season. But at the end of the day, we all have a responsibility to this program, and we go out there and try and execute. So, in the age of the transfer portal and people leaving or quitting and maybe finding a different home elsewhere, I've been very impressed that our team is stuck together through thick and thin. And, it shows by the results on the court. So I think we've won a lot of close matches. And I think that's, again, because of culture and how much we wanted and how much we're willing to push each other for that win. Mia McMillan has been a star player for us. She is often doing a lot of the dirty work in terms of recepting of serve, and she makes plays that just no one else on the court can make. So she's a high flyer. When you first see her, maybe you're a little unsuspecting of how great of a player she can be, but when she gets a hold of a ball, that ball's going down pretty straight down. And it's been cool to see how much of a leader she has been for this program. She's one of our captains, and I think she's well respected. Mia's also a tremendous teammate. Often is our teammate of the week, and I think if I could have the chance to coach more Mia McMillans, I would love to. I wish I had it for more years than just this one, but I don't think we're in the position we are today without Mia McMillan transferring to us. And the first day I saw that she was in the portal, I told my assistant, Savannah, that I don't want anyone else in this program but Mia McMillan. So I'm glad she felt the same way about us, and it's been a blessing to have her. And I think Mia just does every little thing to the best of her ability every day. Despite some of her injuries, she's been willing to give everything for this program, and I'm just very blessed to be her coach. Elizabeth Layson is one of the best freshmen I've ever had the pleasure of coaching. it's not often that your top point scorer on the season is a freshman. And Elizabeth does whatever you ask of her. She comes in every single day trying to get better, working hard. She often is asking for extra reps or how to improve. Elizabeth brings tons of energy on the court. I've told her, and the team agrees, that, I guarantee you that Elizabeth Layson is in the top 5 of people's favorite teammates of all time. Doesn't matter who it might be, but Elizabeth will always get on there because she is such a good person. She's fun to be around. She's aggressive. She's athletic. And her will to win is second to none. So having Elizabeth on this roster and getting her on the court early in her freshman year has been nothing short of amazing. She had a goal of being the ASUN Freshman of the Year this season. And, while that's a lofty goal, she's done everything she can to be in that conversation. And, we are very proud that she's a Queens Royal, and it's been awesome to watch her develop from day one coming into our gym to where she is today. So very proud of Elizabeth Layson and the steps she's made to become one of the best attackers in the ASUN. Wow. What's been cool about this season is just there's been so many memories. I talk often about the first victory that we had, or for me as a head coach, having my family in the stands. That one will probably always be remembered. Megan Kelly hitting that trickle serve over the net just instantly felt like it was the coolest moment ever. But, I think this past week when we played Lipscomb, we had never taken a set off Lipscomb before and came out and just dominated that match. I think Lipscomb is a well-known brand in the volleyball world. They opened their year with some top 10 teams in the country by hosting Nebraska and playing Kentucky. So I think that was a special moment also. I have a lot of respect for Brandon and his program at Lipscomb. So, having the opportunity to compete against him and their program and their brands, I think Queens Volleyball is ready to compete at the highest level. So I think, from the first win to the last win of the regular season, there was a lot of stories in between, including multiple 5-set wins. And it's been great. It's been memorable. And, I would be remiss to not thank all of the administration, the staff, everyone that's kind of touched our program that has helped me in this program along the way. It's been really cool to see the growth from last year to this year. Yeah, I've always been pretty fiery, been very competitive. It probably comes from my mother, who would never let me win at board games or anything when I was growing up. And we just tend to, wear our emotions on our sleeves. And so I've always been very fiery, very passionate. I think it's important to show people who you truly are versus, being, someone you're not on the sidelines. So I like to live in the moment. I like to have fun. I think it's important to show people you care and who you truly are. So, hopefully no one takes it as arrogance or in the wrong way, just me being me. I think ultimately, we're in this tournament and whether someone wants to call us a dark horse or an underdog, I think that's fairly accurate. Unfortunately, we are 0-6 against the top 4 seeds. So, no matter who we were going to be matched up with, it was going to be a fight. The great news about it is it doesn't intimidate us. We're very free-flowing and thinking that we can win at every single point. So, I'm really excited. At the end of the day, we're here to play a volleyball game. We're here to compete really hard. We're here to represent Queen's University of Charlotte as the best as we can. And, I'm just super thankful that we've made the tournament and that we've put ourselves in a position where we can potentially win a conference tournament. So we're not just showing up. We're here to compete. We're here to compete hard. It doesn't matter if Queens was picked 11th in the preseason and they finished 6th. Like, we're here to win a championship. And, I think we have the pieces and tools to do it. For a while, we weren't necessarily as healthy as we could. And now we're peaking at the right time now that we have everyone back. And, I'm sure that a lot of people weren't necessarily thrilled with the idea of they might have to play Queens volleyball. So I'm really excited. I'm thankful to be here. I'm excited to see the future of this program. These athletes are very funny. They love to put some smiles on the faces of coaches. And with that being said, they ended up getting some temporary tattoos of my face and put it on themselves before our practice at North Florida. So, I didn't notice what was happening, and all of a sudden we're about to start practice, and I noticed one of our student athletes maybe 10, 15 feet away from me having something on their face, and I was like, what is that? I kind of turned, and I noticed. Oh, they all have my face printed on their arms or their face or their neck and all that different stuff. So it was a surprise. It was absolutely hilarious. And I'll even say this, those tattoos are really scary good because it even unlocked my phone with Face ID. So that's a little scary. But, even they had, I don't know how many they printed, but they must have been like 1,000 because they had a bunch and they gave me a couple. And so now I have a temporary tattoo in my office of myself also waiting to, be put on. So maybe I'll put that on after we win the championship or something. But, it's a pleasure, and honestly, it's pretty hilarious, that these kids want to help celebrate something so special to me. So you don't often find how great of a team you have until it's like little moments like that. So it meant a lot to me. We often do meetings every month and we talk about birthdays or whatever is going on, and we like to celebrate the little things because ultimately it's not just volleyball. We're here to help the student athletes become better people and enjoy their experience here.
Welcome back to Queen's Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. Thanks to women's volleyball head coach Matt Stoles for chatting with us a little bit earlier this week. And I've got a new guest and someone pretty important to all the broadcasting and everything that comes out of the Queen's University broadcast department, Jim Piscatelli, the assistant athletic director of broadcasting. And Jim, let's talk a little bit about everything that's going on in the broadcast world and what this program really does and how it gets Queen's sports out there.
Thanks, TJ. This is always fun to sit down and chat. I love to talk about our broadcasting program. First of all, we have a great staff. It's very small, but we have Jake Wright, who kills it every single night for us. We have a GA and Max Ott. He's awesome. He does a lot of our graphics, a lot of our replay, those kind of things. We have amazing student volunteers. We are a mix of student volunteers, professionals, student workers, a little bit of everything. And we put on about 175 events a year, everything from one camera streams to up to a 6-7 camera show when we get to a big time men's basketball game. We do a lot of teaching, we do a lot of learning. We try to use new technology in ways that we can. We are just kind of doing the best that we can with what we have. One of my big philosophies in broadcasting is that I try to run each show the same, and I try to run them that I ran them when I was at ESPN, when I was at NBC, those kind of places, so that when employees decide to move on from Queens, they will be ready to go at that next level, and they can walk in and be like, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I know how this is done. Sometimes we have people grab a camera who've never even watched the sport, so you know how that can be. But we're trying to build better, we're trying to build bigger, and we're doing some really good things here at Queens.
It's one of those things where, especially with that many broadcasts, many of them streaming, some of them on cable, it's one of the things where you have to be extremely passionate about what you're doing night in and night out to make sure that you bring the best quality.
Passionate, that's a good term. I get fired up sometimes. I'm a fiery guy. Think of it as like a coach. I expect a lot out of my team, and I think they perform amazingly. I like to give the example of, some nights it's like being a basketball team, and we have 5 people that have never touched a basketball, and we're going out there and competing. And we compete with the best of them. So you have to love the game, kind of, and it's great. I was a borderline okay athlete growing up, and this is still a way to stay in the sport, stay in the teamwork. It's every night feels like another game for us too, and that's kind of how we approach it. We've gotten to meet a lot of really good people. We've gotten some amazing students that help out. So it's been really fun, and we're pretty proud of some of the stuff that we do here at Queens.
With that team and with that kind of mentality behind you, you guys are poised to have some big things coming up on the horizon.
Yeah, one of the big ones we're real proud of is we've partnered with WCCB here locally in Charlotte. With our ESPN Plus contract, we're allowed to do a few games on local TV. We have worked with them. We did a little bit of lacrosse in the spring, had some pretty good success, built a pretty good relationship with them, and now this winter we're going to get to do some men's and women's basketball here locally on WCCB. I believe it's Channel 18 over the air. We're doing a game in December for the men's game when they play Gardner-Webb on December 3rd. That will be, it's still going to be on ESPN, so parents, fans all across the country can watch it on ESPN Plus. But locally here in Charlotte, all you got to do is turn on your TV and you'll be able to see men's basketball. Later in December, we're going to have one of our favorite events. The women's basketball team will have a game at like 12:30 on a Friday afternoon, and the elementary school that's near here will come over and fill these stands. We'll have 2,500 screaming little kids that are just awesome for a whole game. With every bucket, they get up and yell, and it's one of the best events we do all year. So that's going to be real fun. That's December 17th. And then once we get into conference play into 2026, we'll have 2 more games, one each in January and February, that we'll be able to watch on WCCB. So that's one of our big proud moments that we're going forward here. Also working on this show, this coaches show. We're making some big changes, and this is kind of a big project that we're working on moving forward.
What are some of the changes to the coaches show? I know that I'm excited to be here and to be able to just be a little tiny part of the Queens University Sports Network.
Well, that's one of the big changes right there. Bringing in someone like you with experience of actually hosting a show, bringing in someone that can kind of help be the creative force behind it. That's going to be very helpful for us with your history with the Checkers, with your history with social media. Those kind of things are going to really help elevate the show. Along that, we're not going to just do sit down interviews anymore. We're gonna step it up. We're going to do. You saw today an interview, a nice long form interview with Matt Stoles as he heads to the ASUN tournament for women's volleyball. Great to see that happening. We're gonna have those sit-down interviews with coaches. We're gonna be a little more thematic. We're hoping to work on a roundtable with coaches so that we're gonna bring in a special guest who's gonna talk about recruiting, and then we're gonna go to a roundtable with 4 or 5 of our coaches here who can talk about recruiting. That's just an example. Nothing's planned yet, but it may be any topic that's hot in sports right now. We're gonna bring in some student involvement. We've already got some real good stuff from them. Just kind of between man on the street interviews and social media stuff. We're gonna use a lot of the stuff. You're gonna hopefully see it a lot more in more places. Whether it be on social media accounts that you're following on Queens, whether you be on our ESPN Plus broadcasts at halftimes and intermissions. Somewhere you're hopefully going to see some more of this stuff. You're going to see us do more, try to be in more places with the limited resources that we have, and make it kind of something special for this coaches show each and every week, each and every other week. Stay tuned. We'll have a full schedule coming soon. We'll be really starting to promote it out there into the community, and hopefully we get. I don't think a lot of people in Charlotte know how awesome Queens really is, and it's time that they learn that.
Speaking of in the future, what's coming up on your calendar for upcoming broadcasts?
Great question. So tomorrow night, men's basketball against UNC Greensboro, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that'll be on ESPN Plus. December 3rd, we will have that's our WCCB game. December 4th, you can come back on YouTube and watch the coaches versus athletes game. That should be very fun. All run by student volunteers. It should be, everything from color commentating to producing the game should be all run by some volunteers. We may have, Jake and Max and myself may actually jump into some spots and help out, but mostly it's going to be run by volunteers. Then we have about 4 games in December with men's and women's basketball. We'll keep that through conference play, and once we get back from winter break, we will have men's volleyball in the spring. We will have lacrosse. We will men's and women's lacrosse, softball, baseball. We got it all coming back. We're excited to see what happens, and another probably 50 or so events on ESPN Plus still to do, and another about 50 events to do on our one-camera streams on our website. So wherever you watch Queens, you're gonna be able to see more of it into 2026.
No shortage of great events happening right here on Queens campus. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Queens Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. For Jim Piscatelli and all of our guests, including the women's soccer team, our head coach of the women's lacrosse team, Kelly McQuilkin, and the head coach of our women's volleyball team, Matt Stoles, my name is TJ Chillot. Remember, follow us on social media and make sure it's YouTube as well. You can go back and watch any second or all of this show on YouTube. We'll see you next time. That'll do it for this episode of Queens Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina.
Go Royals.